and his group of brave aviators have decided to test their experimental aircraft for the first time. Meanwhile, a happy couple enjoys the bright sunny day sitting on the lush green grass of City Park. The plane, now out of control, crash lands in City Park. Rosie is hit from behind, and the distant sound of ambulance sirens can be heard approaching the park. Meanwhile, Benny is still falling from the sky. He lands in a boat. However, he has hit some turbulent waves. Will he survive the ride of his life? Rosie is rushed to the hospital and struggles to hang on for dear life. Luckily, her friend Alfonso the penguin, who runs an organic popsicle stand, has mixed her own concoction to help nurse Rosie back to health. Unfortunately for Rosie and the rest of Endsville, she is allergic to the elixir and begins growing. She smashes through the walls and escapes into the town. She starts rampaging on her own, yelling at everybody she can find. Meanwhile, at a local burger stand, the city kids enjoy a laugh with Peter, the drive-thru window operator. James interrupts the laughter with his grumbling about his slowly sinking apartment building in the city. Rosie continues her rant. Sparkles is telling Pippi how happy she is to cut hair this week. Mumbling to himself, James doesn't realize there was a bucket of paint in front of the hairdresser. Sparkles wanted to repaint her brown building red. James kicks the bucket and it lands on his head. Guido, the local hobo, comes and picks up the paint bucket, taking it with him, leaving only James covered on the ground in red paint. Sparkles returns to the scene and sees James covered in red paint and thinks he is dead, running away, dropping her scissors. The local detective, Duel, starts to try to figure out how to solve the murder of James. Duel sets off to Walmart to get a magnifying glass, while the local hobo, Guido, once again shows how thievy he is and steals the cup of money away from Jason. Everyone goes to James's funeral, hoping to get something out of his will. Then all of a sudden, James wakes up and pops up in his coffin. He gets out, starts getting angry at everyone, and is like, "What are you all doing here? Why am I in the coffin? Blah, 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 blah." Then Rosie appears. Running rampant through the town, the city folk go, "We must stop her!" The local Guido, the local hobo, is now under the bridge fishing as Rosie goes by. We don't know what's nothing. Our aviators! They've come up with a scheme to drop oranges and lure Rosie to the sinking apartment building. Rosie, being very, very hungry, follows this trail up to the apartment building. Very, very slowly. Rosie starts climbing the apartment building, angry and seeing that there is nothing but terror in this town. The aviators drop a gigantic orange onto the top of the apartment building, and Rosie gets very happy and tries to grab it. In the orange, there is an antidote to Alfonso's concoction. Rosie starts falling as she starts shrinking, having eaten the orange. There she lies, covered in orange juice. What a sad set. But she gets up and walks off with her friends Alphonse, Jafars,